Gary Lee, musical director here at the Falzer Club. And please welcome, without further ado, Mr. Phillip Bennett and the Phillip Bennett Band.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, the river has its music as it thunders on its way, and the forest has its dances as its branches catch the wind, they rock and sway. Oh, the fire keeps a burning in my heart and in my eyes. Oh, this deep and long time yearning, long time burning, makes me sing, it makes me cry. Roll, river, roll in my soul. Take me down the mountains to the sea. Roll, river, roll till I'm whole. Fill me with your own sweet liberty. Come on, children, to the water. Come on, people, to the light. We will dance to the rumbling rhythm of the river as it thunders through the night. In my soul, take me down the mountains to the sea. Roll, river, roll till I'm whole. Fill me with your own sweet liberty. Oh, the river has its music as it thunders, thunders, thunders on its way. Roll, river, roll. Roll, river, roll. Roll, river, roll. Thank you. Thank you. It's so good to be here. I've really looked forward to this for a long time, playing with a wonderful group of musicians that I will introduce as the time goes by. And wanted to let you know, some of you actually do know this was an old movie theater. This was the Alden Theater. It was opened in 1939, closed in 1969, and became a Papa John's pizza place. Because culture always has to progress forward, right? But I'd like you to imagine that we are sitting together in the dark watching pictures, because movie pictures are stories, and songs are stories. And what you're going to hear tonight are songs that I've written over many, many years, and songs themselves, I believe, are stories that talk about the various times in our lives when we move through this long, winding road. And you're going to hear stories that are about hope, despair, falling in love, the pain of breaking up, family legacies, both painful and surprisingly wonderful. You're going to hear some stories about generational issues, all sorts of stuff. You're going to hear what Zorba the Greek called the whole catastrophe, the full catastrophe. That means it's the whole thing that you and I live through in our lives. I've always wondered in writing songs where songs come from. I don't really know. It's a mystery when I write a song, just where it comes from and where it's going. Seems the artist has to be the servant of the art. Michelangelo talked about the fact that in the block of marble is the sculpture. And the role of the sculptor is to discover and to release that sculpture. And I think something happens with songwriters as well. And so this song speaks to that, about drawing something out, a song that wants to be sung, a song that's in the air. Someone said to me, the song's already there, waiting to be drawn out of the air. Some hidden melody, it's longing to be sung. Reach out and catch the music in the air. Oh, give it voices, let the song be heard everywhere. Oh, I think the world rejoices when someone draws the music from the air. Down a narrow street in old Valencia, morning sunlight filtered through the air. In their wooden cages, hung from the balconies, the songbirds sang their music in the air. Oh, the sweetness of their singing, it was like a dream at break of day. Oh, in silence I stood listening to the sound of their music in the air. Love is what we seek, it's what we're all longing for, and it sends us searching, searching everywhere. Though we try to hunt love down, oh, love's already there. Love is like the music in the air. Oh, it's all unaware. Oh, until love has found us, the love that's like the music in the air. Thank you. Jim McKay on guitar. I realize looking back on songs that I have written over the years that a lot of them are about travel, or they're about making your way on some long road of life. Sometimes when we're young, I think we actually have a wisdom that belies our age. And this was the first song I wrote at 16. And it talks about the fact that mornings come and they go, but there is still so much left to know. And that it takes so long to find your way back again to finally find out where you've been. Waiting for a night train headed home, I watch the haggard faces hurry on. They haul their bags along as the tired night drags on. Finally they are on their trains and gone. Mornings come and mornings go, leaving so much left to know. It takes so long to find your way back again, to finally find out where you've been. All the reflections fade away, flickering in the windows of the train. I sing my song as the wheels roll along, rumbling through the darkness and the rain. Mornings come and mornings go, leaving so much left to know. It takes so long to find your way back again, to finally find out where you've been. Now I'm back on this train again, I think of all the places that I've been. So many years have passed, and the times move so fast, and my journey is closer to the end. Mornings come and mornings go, leaving so much left to know. It takes so long to find your way back again, to find out where you've been, to find out where you've been. Mario Veneri on sax. So at 18, I went to Europe with a backpack, a sleeping bag, and a very good friend who ended up becoming my lover. He and I had decided to take a year off between high school and college and go through Europe, Air Icelandic, which was the cheapest way you could go. I see some people nodding. You know this trip. I think we spent 6 months. It was like $1,500 or something outrageous. Even then, it was outrageous. And we flew into Luxembourg. We waited to take the train to Belgium and then UK. There were lots of nodding here. And so this depicts the journey, the traveling we did together. Luxembourg, and then to London, where we saw Maggie Smith in Hedda Gabler. She was just starting out. And if you know the end of that play, it's not cheery, but it was a kind of existential wake-up call for two 18-year-olds who were setting out into adulthood. And in a great dramatic flair, we both stood under Big Ben and took our wristwatches off and threw them into the Thames River. And then drove off and slept under the stars. But it was also a time of inner travel as well, and a time of being able to connect with each other and a spiritual connection as well. And so this song talks about these various places we traveled and also the mystery that was happening in us. My dear friends, settle back and remember how we first left this country. On a night in September, we went rising, soaring, up on our wings through the dark. Luxembourg, a land in such an unknown language, cobbled streets winding down to the city's green canyons, where we slept in the cold while the carillons rang. Oh, those traveling times. Oh, they're the very soul of me. Learning to live by telling traveling time. Learning to love the mystery. Happening in you and in me. In London, we watched Hedda Gabler die. You said I knew when she fired I was living a lie. Well, I gotta get free from these scheduled and family ties. So we told the hotel there'd been a death in the family, packed our bags, drove through empty streets and out to the country, slept under the stars. stars till we woke to the light and the larks. Oh, those traveling times, they're coming over me again. Mediterranean, moonlight reveling times, watching Gibraltar rise from the sea. Oh, joy rising in you and in me. Well, we got back stateside, and it was a very painful time because Charlie said, if you were a woman, I would marry you. Well, that wasn't going to happen. This was 1970, and to have made a decision to be a couple publicly would have been a bold step indeed. And so he broke up with me. It was devastating. But out of that experience, I had had a profound encounter with another human being. And love at that depth is a touching of souls. And it did open me up for the possibility of a deeper relationship. And I now have a husband of 30 years. And I am so grateful for that gift and for how far we've come as a society. But take nothing for granted at all. We see backlash as well. But love has the capacity, as I said, to touch us and open us up. But there is something I've noticed, maybe you have too, in close relationships, that you think you know the person that you're with, and then suddenly they become very obstinate and stubborn. And you try to state something reasonably. This person that you know and trust has become very obstinate. And so you try, and they push back. And it's those kinds of push-pull times in relationships where the real growth can come. So this song is not one that I've drawn from my own personal experience, but I think some of you might identify with it. It's called the Narcissist Love Song. Well, you're brilliant and you're beautiful, but frankly, so am I. What good does it do us both if we can't break down and cry? Leave a chink in our armor, let someone get through. Oh, let love land that mortal blow and heal both me and you. Learn to begin. We gotta learn to begin to love all over again. Well, we both got first-class minds and we read those first-class books. And how come when the words run dry we resort to those second-class looks? reach over and grab me across the gaping void. Oh, reach over and hug me, honey, and let's skip the Freud. Learn to begin. We gotta learn to begin to love all over again. Well, you're brilliant and you're beautiful, but frankly, so am I. What good does it do us both if we can't break down and cry? Leave cheek in our armor, let someone get through. Oh, let love land that mortal blow and heal both me and you. Learn to begin. We gotta learn to begin to love all over again. Thank you. During the Great Depression, there were whole parts of the country that migrated to California, the land of golden opportunity. And my family on both sides my father came from Arkansas, and his family Missouri, Kansas, my mother from Montana, her father from Texas. All these people came seeking the golden life, seeking an escape really from poverty. And my father and mother met in California. I was born there. But my father had a love-hate relationship with his mother. And he decided that he was going to leave California for the Midwest to escape his mother. We know how this goes, don't we? You never escape something that you're running from. He fell right into the jaws of another Great Depression, which was his own depression. And I remember my father, who was so sweet in many ways, a great lover of the arts, literature, music, nature, flying into these violent rages and then these deep, deep depressions. And I grew up with this kind of oscillation. When he did die, I thought he was relatively at peace and we were on good terms. And we buried him in the Ozarks, where he had returned after many years. And he lies in this beautiful valley overlooking the Ozark Mountains. And I wrote this song after his death, and I remember how much he loved listening to birdsong, and his mother had taught him that. And he would sometimes say to me, "Listen, it's a whippoorwill." Daddy came from Arkansas, where the whippoorwills make their mournful call. He was a lonely boy with a broken heart. His folks traveled from town to town, lived a hard-scramble life that'll wear you down. But you had to stand strong and do your part. And the wheels turn round and round to the old Ozarks I am bound, where Daddy lies in these lonesome hills with the whippoorwills. When Daddy grew up, he married my mom. He had a restless soul, always had to move on, always chasing some golden dream. But in time, the gold turned to lead, and all Daddy's dreams, they went dead. Not everything you hope for is what it seems. And the wheels turn round and round to the Ozarks I am bound, where Daddy lies in these lonesome hills with the whippoorwills. I look back on my life with Dad, I see him much he ran after, and a little he had. It always pained me to see him feel so bad. But if your spirit, it can't rest, nothing satisfies, you're resigned at best, and you can't see the treasure lying right in your hand. And the wheels turn round and round Ozarks I bound, where that it lies in these lonesome hills with the whippoorwills. And the wheels turn round and round to the Ozarks I am bound, where Daddy lies in these lonesome hills with a whippoorwill. Thank you. Bill Nixon on fiddle. Well, about a year after my father's death, the tidal wave hit. I fell into a massive depression. I could barely get out of bed. My family on both sides had tremendous amounts of mental illness. Schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, paranoia, agoraphobia. The list went on and on. All sorts of psychosis. My mother confided in me later in life that she and my father were worried about having children because of this. And I had countless cousins, aunts, and uncles, some of whom just disappeared into institutions. But I was one that was spared. We were the strong ones. But after my father's death, I descended into this incredible place of despair. It was what he had lived with so much of his life, his regrets about unlived life, his lack of love for himself. And I found myself at 54 thinking, well, my life is over. I haven't done what I wanted to. felt this just tremendous desolation. And fortunately, my husband Joe stuck with me. I was able to get back into therapy, which was a bit humiliating at that point in life. And I found an 80-year-old Jewish psychiatrist who did nothing but sit with me and occasionally let me know how he had experienced his own depression. And we would sit there together in the mystery of suffering and talk about my father and talk about our families. And it was out of this experience, the second song about my father came. I was now in the picture. I wasn't just talking about him. And I tried to gather together that contradictory, complex quality that we all are. His anger and his love, his loneliness, his ability to be creative and also destructive. And the words that came to me as I sat down to compose the song was, "My love could not heal you, for you could not love yourself. I couldn't save you from your darkness. I could barely save myself." My love could not heal you, for you could not love yourself. I couldn't save you from your darkness. I could barely save myself. But you know I always loved you, and I know you loved me too. So as I stand here at your grave, what more can I do? In the end, I can wish you peace. What you have done and left undone have all been washed away by the tides of love that carry you into that vast and shining bay, where the harbor lights, they welcome you. You are finally home at last, in the land where love heals the present, the future, and the past. In the end, I wish you peace. Peace for all your anger, peace for all your joy, peace for what you life built up and what your life destroyed, peace for all your loneliness, peace for all your love. In the end, I wish you peace. And now we lay you in your grave in this red Ozark dirt, with your face to the rising sun, free from despair and hurt. May all your wounds at last be healed, your regrets and sorrows cease. May the weight be lifted from your heart, may you find complete release. In the In the end, I wish you peace. Peace for all your longings. Peace for all your fears. Peace for all your laughter. Peace for all your tears. Peace for the life you didn't live. And peace for the life you did in the end. In the end, I wish you peace. Thank you. As so often happens in families, it's the blessings and the curses that are often intertwined. And my family on both sides had a great love of music. We had many musicians. And my great-grandparents, whom I was very fortunate to have known, lived in Greenville, California, up above the Feather River Canyon in Northern California. And I have fond memories as a kid of driving up the twisting turns up the canyon, coming to this little sleepy town, a little lumber town, where my great-grandparents lived in what was really almost a cabin, very simple little place. And my great-grandfather would take me down to the stream behind the house to go fishing. And I remember lying out in the stars, the cool air. And I remember particularly my great-grandfather playing the fiddle. He played the fiddle and he played the saw, which I thought was so cool. But what I didn't know until very recently, my aunt told me, is that he also wrote songs. He wrote songs and he sang his own songs. Now, none of those have survived, but I'd like to think in some ways they have survived in me. So this is for him and all my family, and it's called Greenville. Where we drove up the mountains, past the waterfall's roar, up the Feather River Canyon, where they mined for gold ore. Well, we came up to Greenville, my great-grandparents' place. Oh, a small wooden cabin that time has erased. Oh, the air was so sweet, with the smell of the pines. The first day I was sleepy from the altitude climb. Then he'd hold out his hand and we'd go down to the stream where we'd fish in the sun, great-grandfather and me. Well, you played the fiddle and also the saw. You sang songs of our people, and I heard the call. Well, life, it was simple and sometimes so hard. I'd lie out in the night and stare at the stars. Oh, you look back at me through the old photographs, your face strong and rugged, with a hint of a laugh. We spanned 3 generations. What had been, what would be. An old man and a young boy, great-grandfather and me. Now I'm growing old, and you are long gone. I try to trace memories in the words of this song, but time is a river, an unstoppable flood. Oh, but you live inside me. I'm blood of your blood, and all of the pain, and all of the joy, and all of the love that time can't destroy. Memories flow like wind through the trees. We go down to the stream, great-grandfather and me. Memories blow like wind through the trees. We go down to the stream, great-grandfather and me. Bill Nixon, thank you. When I go back to California, I do feel that sense of connection because all of my relatives, except my immediate family, live in the West Coast, Washington State, some in Utah, California. And I go back there, and the place I love the most is Big Sur, to Highway 1 snaking along, the hawks that are circling overhead, and the sea lions sleeping down in the bays. And so the song is called Back in California. It's been so long since I've been home. I miss the sun, the highway, and the sea. I miss the fir trees and the mountains in mist. Oh, Big Sur, you're calling me. I'm back in California, in the land where I was born. I got here in the morning, and now I'm finally back at home. The highway snakes along, and the hawk is on the wing. Sea lions sleeping down in the bay. I sing my song as the road winds along, all the way up to Monterey. I'm back in California, in the land where I was born. I got here in the morning, and now I'm finally back at home. I'm back in California, in the land where I was born. I got here in the morning, and now I'm finally back. I'm finally back. I'm finally back at home. Thank you. Want to introduce two more of the band members. Gary Sampson is on drums, and Ann Green is on bass, both wonderful musicians. Such a delight to play with people who are great musicians and we're also good friends. That's a great gift. Well, it's a very scary world, isn't it? It's a world full of violence. It's a world full of suffering, oceans and oceans of suffering. It's also a world where there are scary things in our own psyches. And it's a world where we face death. We don't talk about that very much, do we? The fear of death. It's really hard to talk about it, to think that you and I are going over that thin line. We don't know what awaits us, whatever we do believe. It's a thin line. And this is a song that talks about these words or messages that we give each other in the midst of things that are frightening. It's the phrase that we say to young children when we sing lullabies. It's what we say to the dying. It's what we hear in the Bible. We hear it in fairy tales. This word over and over. Words that do not take away what's frightening, but somehow they say, we are not alone. I am with you in the dark. Be not afraid. Everything changes. Nothing stays the same. Love is the only thing that remains. So hold fast to that truth and be not afraid. All of your joy and all of your pain and all of the demons that live in your brain. Oh, life's an endless mystery. Oh, be not afraid. Oh, the sun will not harm you, nor the moon by night. Oh, the love that surrounds you will be your everlasting light. We're all afraid. We're just flesh and blood. When you walk through the darkness, the fire and the flood, and when you come to the end, oh, be not afraid. In the midst of your doubt, your pain and your grief, through the passing of time that steals all like a thief, may you hear the angels sing, oh, oh, be not afraid. Be not afraid. Thank you. This is a more recent song, and it's frankly, it's a song I would not have been able to write in my younger years. Growing older, as I see many of us are, is a mixed bag indeed. Our bodies are shrinking, and we're doing this dance with gravity that we did as toddlers, trying to stand up straight, keep our balance, and not fall. But it's also, I think, a time of potential blessing where we have a summing up of what we've experienced in life, and that we have the capacity to be able to give back to the world our own wisdom. Unfortunately, often we have negative views of people who are aging until we get there. And I think, quite bluntly, it's because old people remind us of death. And so often we put them in these categories. But I do think it's a time of potential fruitfulness. And the image that came to me in writing this song was as a child going along picking up milkweed pods, those wonderful crusty things in the fall. You would crack them open and hundreds of little silken parachutes would float through the air. And so the song is called These Harvest Years. Here I come with a vengeance to these harvest years. Standing at the edge of my life, I feel some peacefulness and I feel some fear. Like a seed pod in the wind, I scatter far and near, full of questions, full of gratitude for all I hold so dear in these harvest years. Here I come with a vengeance, holding the world in my embrace, to see the gift in everything, the light in every face. I'm still singing like a wire, alive until I'm not, raising my voice as long as I can, with all the fire I've got in these harvest years. Here I come with a vengeance to the rest of my life. In my riches and my poverty, in my joy and in my strife. Oh, the power and the glory. Oh, the song still to be sung. And when my song is ended, another has begun in these harvest years. Thank you. Thank you. One of the great gifts of moving through time is having friends to move through time with, old friends. And it's not just nostalgia to be able to touch base with people you have known for many, many years. And there's such wonderful resonance there. And so we would like to close with this song, which we dedicate to all of you, our friends, and to the gift of friendship. It's raising a glass of vintage wine and being able to celebrate the years lived and the years ahead. Old friend. Traveled well together from Montreal to Mexico, hitching rides in any weather to see how far we could go. Well, all along the highway, we shared the secrets of the soul. Always friends and sometimes lovers, like Cassidy and Kerouac were told. Let us raise our glass together to the years that made this vintage wine. Let us toast all we have weathered. Let us seize the shortening time. Old friend of mine. The miles grow fewer before the ending of the road. So let's while away the hours, talking of things both new and old. Well, some say there's a heaven, some say there's nothing lies beyond. Oh, but there's still a spark between us. That's why I wrote you this song. Let us raise our glass together to the years that made this vintage wine. Let us toast all we have weathered. Let us seize the shortening time. Old friend of mine. Thank you so much for coming out. And thank you to this wonderful band. Mario Veneri on sax, Jim McKay on guitar and vocals, Gary Sampson on drums, Ann Green on bass, and Bill Nixon on fiddle. Thank you so much. We joked about this. We have an encore, and we wanted people to keep clapping. You don't have to clap, we'll do it. I always wanted to be like those rock bands where the act goes out, remember, and the crowd just keeps stomping its feet and they wait for a minute and finally they come out. But it's not doable on this stage. So anyway, as you go out into the night, we wanted to leave you with a song which is about traveling in the dark through the night into the dawn and not being alone. It's called Witchin' Hour. Take me through the darkness that runs through the night. Oh, in the witching hour. Make me as an owl in his moonlight flight. Oh, in the witching hour, through the clicking of the clocks and the winding of the wheels and the turning of the road, take me through the darkness to the gateway of the dawn. Oh, in the witching hour. Take me through the canyon in your magic spell. Oh, in the witching hour, let my soul drink from your sacred well. Oh, in the witching hour, I've been wandering through this wilderness so long that it almost seems like home. Take me through the darkness to the gateway of the dawn. Oh, in the witching hour. I'm a long way from home. I'm a long way from home. I'm a long way from home. But with you, I don't go alone. Take me to the highway that runs through the night. Oh, in the witching hour, make me as an owl in its moonlight flight. Oh, in the witching hour, I've been wandering through this wilderness so long that it almost seems like home. Take me through the darkness to the gateway of the dawn. Oh, in the witching hour. Whoa! Thank you. And thank you to all the good friends at the Falzer Club, Felicity Mormon, for Gary Lee, for Barb Adams on sound, Bob Finkelstein on video. We hope you have a very safe trip home, and thank you for coming. Good night.